Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Stephen Reep's Adventure of Truth podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Reep, and today we're going to look in the first chapter of my book, Fleeing Tiamat, the land of Tiamat, and we're going to look at three things specifically. We're going to look at the world building of Tiamat, we're going to look at Michael's call to an adventure, and then we're going to look at Michael meeting Anna Maria / Sarah. So, let's start an adventure. Alright, so the first chapter is always big in a book. I've gotten a lot of feedback on this chapter, and the one thing I notice a lot of people saying is there's a lot in it. I kind of intertwine dialogue and world building in the first chapter. It's kind of unique to the first chapter, and some people suggested they didn't like that, and I thought about changing it. The reason I kept it is because it's supposed to be overstimulated, right? That's a big theme of the chapter, a big theme of the book, is that in Tiamat, everyone, including Michael, is overstimulated. So there's a lot going on in this chapter. And probably the hardest part for me to write this book was building the world of Tiamat. So there's a few things in this first chapter that you see that are unique to Tiamat, but they're not necessarily totally far-fetched. They're not totally science fiction. If you notice, they are problems of today just magnified. So, for example, when we look at the ways Tiamat distracts its people, replacing religion and a call for purpose or meaning with age and using drugs and overstimulation with technology and entertainment, that's stuff that goes on today. There is a huge drug problem. There's a huge opioid problem, and that cuts off people's motivation. And obviously the media and technology and overstimulation is a problem today, and it doesn't look to be getting any better. So this is kind of if that trajectory continues. Another big, obvious magnification of today's culture is the idea of the mob mentality, of collectivism, that no one else can speak outside of the agenda, right? So we see that there's currently people being silenced on social media for saying not the right things that those social media CEOs do not like. That's very clear in colleges. For those of you in college or have just gotten out of college, you've probably seen that if you do not say the right things to the professor, you might not be too welcomed in class, you might get a lot of backlash, but also it might even affect your grade. I've known a few people that have written papers that they do not believe in just to get a better grade because that's what the professor wants to hear. So we're seeing that today in a lot of instances of this, you must think the same, right? And that's, so if it magnifies, we see that in Tiamat. And of course, with that is a social media page. So people have to do their daily affirmations, which is, pretty much voluntary today. People always just spew their opinions, but as in that mob mentality, we kind of check each other and people get canceled. People say, you say the wrong thing, or a lot of people that get along great in person, they ruin their relationships because of the stuff they post online and butting heads on either extreme of the side politically. So a lot of Tiamat is just, it is what's going on today, but it's just in a very extreme, very controlled way that the government is using all these ways that we today maybe fall into collectivism, and they use it for control. So as you see, another big theme is that they take good things. They take good desires, maybe a desire to be rebellious, and they say, ooh, Yage is like cool and rebellious, so, give in to Yage, but Yage is, actually kind of keeps you down. They use the call to control, that we want self-control, so it's like, oh, okay, they can control their cyber glasses. It's literally a phone right in your face, right? And we pretty much have that at all times, or just like this, we pretty much do it. They just strap it to your face and into your temples, and that is the the way that they constantly manipulate and control people and keep them down. One of my favorite lines, and a lot of people actually have pointed out this line to me, is that equality to Tiamat really meant equity. This often meant trimming the tallest blades of grass rather than helping and giving opportunity for the small blades to grow. It was equality of outcome, not equality of opportunity. The philosophy was that as long as everyone is equal, everyone is happy. Now we see that's not true. We see that cuts off ambition. That's cutting the heads off of the top of grass. And hopefully you see the danger of that. And as the story develops, and Michael has a call to do something great and to be a hero, and he's kicked out for that. And I think that leads us to Michael's call. So while Michael's in college, he kind of dreams of something more, but there's constant distractions, right? There's the age, there's the parties, there's college, and he's told he's not allowed to. He's told it's either toxic masculinity, which, is a real thing, but I think often people use it to cut off ambition, and ambition's also a good thing. So why are we cutting off ambition in the fear that you might be dangerous, right? So Michael has this call to be a hero and is constantly either distracted or told it's not good. So he, again, as the opposite of Tiamat, where they take good things and skew them for bad, Michael takes the bad thing, suppressing his desire to be something great, his call for a hero, and he skews it to fits it into wanting to be part of the guidance department. Now, the guidance department is nothing like our cops and heroes today. They are pure agents of the government just to brainwash and keep people on the right agenda. So he quickly finds that out, and we'll see that in the next few chapters. Now, there's two teachers that really inspired him and kind of helped him develop his idea of hero, his dream of being a hero. The first one is Dr. Wesley Lane. I got that name off of two people, so both of the two teachers, the two professors that are inspiration in Michael's life, are hybrids of my mom and my dad. So my mom's middle name is Lena, and my dad's middle name is Wesley. And then two professors that were a big inspiration on me in the secular and biblical studies I did. So Dr. Smirnoff was my philosophy teacher, and Dr. Lane was one of my theology teachers that had a big impact on me. So cool fun fact. And these two teachers kind of serve as parents. You can see there's a dissolve, there's a breakdown. It's not too clear, and I couldn't get into every detail. Maybe in the second book I'll get into that, of how family life was in Tiamat, but you see it's not a strong sense that only his teachers were the closest thing he had to parents. So finally, after it's all kind of set up, Michael gets his mission. And his first mission is to check a woman and correct a woman that made a aggression on her social media page. So he goes there and he meets her. And he has all these expectations. He thinks he's going to be the hero and correct her, and it's going to be all great. Much like we do when we go into something and we idealize it, and then reality happens, right? And you see that with Michael. And Anna Maria we find out her real name is Sarah later, so we'll call her Anna Maria for now. She is exactly that too. She's this, the reason I call her Anna Maria in the beginning, it's not only her spy name, spoiler alert, hopefully you've read ahead by now, but it is also, Anna Maria comes from the anima, which is the female side of the archetype of the soul, right? And it's kind of the ideological perfect female. Carl Jung says if you're a male, you have an anima, you have that female part of you, but you also project it on women, and you're looking for that perfect woman, that anima. If you're a woman, you have the animus, which is the perfect man, and it's the opposite, the male part of you that you need, the counterpart. And you even see that when he sees her, he stutters, and he's trying to say Anna Maria, and he goes, anima, anima, and he says, how can I help you? And, the narrator kind of comments that, Well, he has, neither of them had any idea how much he could help her. And you see in the story that she really helps him the most develop into the hero he's meant to be. So, cool little Easter egg there that has Carl Jung's philosophy of the archetypes, and a pretty cool nod to that. So this just sets up the beginning of the story, is that he realizes that, hey, maybe Tiamat got some things wrong, or maybe it's not this perfect utopia. And so he goes back and he's excited to report back and see that there's a mistake, and save everyone and be a hero. And we see that your anima often leads you to do that, makes you the best person you can be. We see this commentary on society, and we see the most important thing that I try to talk about a lot in the book and on this channel is the call to be a hero. And that God calls everyone to be a hero in their own way. We all have a purpose, and we all have a meaning in life that we need to find. And that when you find that, is true happiness. And that's what it's all about. That's what the book's about. That's what my channel's about. So I hope you enjoy the first chapter. Soon we'll do one about the next chapter, Tiamat's Cave. And I am Stephen Reep, reminding you to be the hero of your own adventure. I'll see you next time, guys.